Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the cEDH cast. We're doing another Greedy Keeps. Here we have a deck that is one just we should see a lot in the current meta. This is Opus Thief. As many of you know, brewed by the wonderful Shaper Savant. We actually have his database list here right now. In talking to Shaper before this episode, I wanted to make sure we had his input before we did a breakdown of the list. And we talked about, things that to look out for specifically when doing mulligans for this deck. So this is going to be a fun time. This hand is already one of those things that he was talking about with me. So when I did talk to Shaper, he had mentioned that a big part of playing Opus Thief is that basically because you are sans green, you are going to need to rely on the explosiveness of artifacts a lot more. So first let's read out this hand, and then I'll break down kind of what I'm talking about. So we have a Mox Diamond, Talisman of Dominance, Dark Confidant, Forbidden Orchard, Whispering Madness, Fiery Islet, and Toxic Deluge. Now, Braden, I don't know if you're thinking the same thing I am. I think this is definitely a keep.
Yeah, it seems pretty strong. Any hand with, I'm going to say in this deck, any hand that has, a 2-mana rock and a Mox Diamond with 2 lands and a wheel, it's a pretty good start.
So one of the crazy things about the fact that Opus Thief leans into these wheel synergies is that you can keep a kind of garbage hand, but with, a ton of fast mana, and then be dump it all out, then wheel it away. Now we're back to a fresh 7, right? And that's, a really big benefit of playing this list.
Yeah, for this hand, are you playing the turn 1 Dark Confidant or turn 1 Talisman?
I was, that was the debate that was going through my head as well. So I think this is one of those things that is pod dependent. I always am inclined to ramp a little bit faster, but if you are especially worried about maybe hitting that next land and then being able to get to 4 mana really fast so you can do the Whispering Madness, that's something to think about. And in that scenario, I think you jam the Confidant. But my genuine inclination is to just get all the acceleration out as quickly as possible.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of frustrating is I kind of wish we could play the Dark Confidant, then play the Whispering Madness next turn, and then attack with Dark Confidant. But we'd have to draw a Mana Crypt or something like that.
Exactly.
So that's not going to happen. But just pretty greedy. I'd like to see it.
Definitely.
So, all right, let's go for another 7.
Now, your video has frozen for me, unfortunately.
All right. It's frozen for me too.
Okay.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
We can just cut that out. All right.
Sure.
This next hand, we see a Demonic Tutor, Misty Rainforest, Arid Mesa, Grim Monolith, Mystical Tutor, Cephalid Coliseum, Mana Vault. Now, this is kind of what I was talking about with that last hand, where sometimes you do get those hands that just have a lot of mana and allow you to dump it really fast. Is that sort of your inclination when you see this too, Braden?
Yeah, it's pretty awkward though.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that.
Although I think it's just so broken that you can probably make it work.
Yeah.
Just talking out loud here, we go turn 1 Mana Vault, turn 2 you can tap the Mana Vault, float 4 mana by playing the Grim Monolith. Then you can...
Well, I think you Mystical Tutor in your upkeep for a wheel, don't you? Is that... Or would you...
You can detutor for it.
You can also detutor, sure.
Yeah. So... And that... So that's kind of what I'm saying. I guess it depends. I guess if you Mystical Tutor for on your upkeep, it kind of... So,
Yeah, it's a toughie.
Yeah, the problem is that either way, it looks like you're going to have to tap your Grim Monolith and your Mana Vault on turn 2. So yeah, I think this is probably where experience with the deck would probably help both of us. What tutor is more valuable, the Mystical Tutor or the Demonic Tutor?
Right.
I will say though that the fact that Mystical Tutor helps us set up if we get countered here, the Mystical Tutor might be able to set us up if we just draw into a wheel where we can wheel.
Oh, and then have a Mystical Tutor back up.
Cast,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then next turn we can just cast Mystical Tutor. We're like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, eh, hmm.
This is also one thing to note about this hand, and I've seen this many times from Opus Thief. This is a turn 2 Crom hand, which is
Yeah, for
also
sure.
a powerful avenue to send the deck. So you just, turn 1
Yeah,
land, mana vault, turn 2, just jam a Crom and see what happens.
yeah, and then the following turn you can actually just like play your Demonic Tutor, get a Thassa's Oracle next turn,
Mm-hmm.
and then later. So you like have 3 mana on turn 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
on turn 3 you pay your Demonic Tutor, hold up a blue, then you Mystical Tutor for Demonic Consultation. Turn 4 you win with a Crom in play, just grinding
Yeah.
as people set up their card advantage engines in the
Yep.
early game. So you're probably gonna draw some extra cards.
I was gonna say
Um,
sometimes with these double tutor hands in a consult deck, hypothetically speaking, if you're playing with like a lot of stacks decks at the table, sometimes you can, if there's like a collector roof that comes down and like ruins your day pretty early on this mana thing, you can just, de-tutor for the Oracle and mystical tutor for the consult and win that way. You know what I mean? And keep it clean if you think people have let their guard down.
Yeah, so I think this one has a lot of options too. Again, like I think this is a hand where experience is pretty valuable. Like, and
Yeah,
also knowing the table composition, like how much you're going to get away with.
that's definitely
Um,
fair. Yeah.
if you think you're going to get away with a turn 2 wheel, like go for it. If you don't think you will,
Then the
but
turn
you
two
think you'll get away with a
Crom thing
turn
probably
4.
seems fairer, right? Because people
Yeah,
often
yeah,
aren't.
and if you think
Yeah.
you'll get away, like there's a lot of tables where like you won't get away with something on turn 2, but you'll get away with something on turn 4, which sounds kind of odd, but like it's just because like the way that like someone usually tries to go off,
Yeah,
and so it really
definitely.
depends on like the. It's like a sense, like I don't really know how to describe it, but like when I sit at a table with medium green, especially, like I can tell just like when I'm gonna need to go off, and like
Mm-hmm.
some tables you just know it's a 4, sometimes you know it's a 2, sometimes you know it's a 7,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think this is a hand where us being more experienced pilots would probably be able to make that determination.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And once again, not knowing the pod composition definitely changes this one a bit. But it's definitely a keepable 7. I think it's hard to argue against that. So,
Yeah. All right. Let's see another one.
okay, we're seeing Flusterstorm, Copy Artifact, Wheel of Fortune, Necropotence, Tundra, Whispering Madness, and Silence. Can't really cast
Throw it
much in this
away.
hand.
Yeah, just throw it away.
Yeah, out of here. Okay.
Hey.
Tundra's back. We also have a Mana Crypt, Arcane Signet, Counterspell, Whispering Madness, Copy Artifact, and Command Tower.
We
I
have enough mana to
love this.
go. So here's what you do. You're gonna go turn 1 Command Tower
Yep.
into Mana Crypt, Arcane Signet, copy Artifact, the Arcane Signet. Next turn, you have enough mana to play Whispering Madness with a counterspell as protection.
It's pretty gross.
That's kind of what this deck wants to do, I imagine.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like I've definitely played games with. I think the first time I ever played against Shaper when he was playing this deck, he went down to 6, kept a no lander, but his hand was like Mana Crypt, Signet, and like Chrome Mox or something, and he was like, as long as I can dump and wheel, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, and if you don't have to protect it with counterspell, you also just have like 2 blue mana open.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like pretty good.
Yeah,
Probably drawing like 6 to 5 cards.
definitely.
All right, let's see another 7. Hey, this is an odd one.
Huh.
So
Okay.
this has the turn 1 Winds of Change. Uh, you have
Which
to
is
get a volcanic
yeah.
island off the Flooded Strand. I
So
honestly don't know
the
if this
hand
is good
has.
enough.
We got to read the hand. The hand has Jace Wielder Mysteries, Winds of Change, Time Twister, Dispel, Chain of Vapor, Flooded Strand, and Drown in the Lock. I don't think you keep a hand to Winds of
I think
Change.
I think if you're on the play, I think you keep this.
Like if you're going first, like
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you keep this because you'll have
Oofa
6
doofa.
cards in hand. You'll go to 6, but you'll also have a land in play already. So it's like you kept a 7.
Yeah.
And you just force each opponent to mulligan, and you're not even like forcing them to go back up to 7 like a time twister would on turn 1. It's like if they mulligan to 5, they're still at 5. It's probably an awful 5.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been turn 1 Winds of Change. It never feels good. I'll say that.
Yeah. The problem is I want it to feel good on our side.
Well, we don't know. We're the wheels deck, right? So we're
Yeah.
probably the best. We're probably the person who's most likely to
To
like
handle it. Yeah.
want this, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
The lack of acceleration kind of stinks, but at the same time, like you don't want to dump your hand and then cast Winds of Change
Sure. Sure.
because like
Yeah,
doesn't
that
do
is
anything. It's not
it's
card
that is the
advantage.
worst wheel to have with a
Yeah. So
tandem.
this is probably like, with the exception of like a Mana Crypt, where you're like, all right, I want that. I want a mana crypt in my fresh 6, so
Yeah.
I'm fine getting a 5. Um, I think this is a pretty good Winds of Change hand. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'd be interested in seeing what people say in the comments on this one. This
Yeah,
is definitely
I
a
know my
spicy one.
inclination will be to not keep this, but you easily could be right, and especially there are definitely times when you're playing against like mid-rangey console decks that like you can really hurt them by hurting their early start. So
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, like, a lot of decks are just dependent on turn 1 Dork.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
think about how many Food Chain hands are just destroyed by no
Oh
Dorks
my
in
god.
their starting hand.
Like when I'm playing my Kazurukima deck, like I mulligan very purposefully in that deck, and if I'm just given a random hand, we're in trouble. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think, like, again, like, it depends on the pod composition,
yeah,
but there's a lot of decks that can't beat a turn 1 Winds of Change
that's
most
fair.
of the time.
You're selling me on
So,
it. You really are. I'm starting to get on the winds of change.
all right. Let's see. I'm keeping this. Are you
Oh,
keeping
wait,
this?
wait, pop quiz. What land do you get?
Volcanic.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to. There's no plateau in the deck.
Plateau.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think he plays plateau.
Yeah. Okay. Throw this away. It's
Yeah.
4 lands, a Force of Will, a Dispel, and a Talisman of Progress.
It's
So it's
garbage. Get it out of
not
here.
good.
Second 7.
Ooh, this one's spicy.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
oof, oof.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm
I like
very inclined to keep this hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this a lot. Ooh. Oh, this is just a turn to Admirals.
Is it?
Yeah, so I'll read the hand real quick.
Oh, I see.
Uh,
Yes, yes, yes,
wooded,
yes, yes.
So Wooded Foothills, Draenith Magistrate, Mana Vault, Tainted Pact, Dark Ritual, Underground River, Demonic Tutor. So
Yeah, you're right.
what you do on turn 1 is you play one of your lands and you create a black mana. So if you play the Wooded Foothills, you might get like a bad lands. You then play your Dark Ritual. You use 2 of the mana to cast Demonic Tutor, possibly getting an Ad Nauseam. You could get one of many things.
Yeah.
You might just get a Ritual.
Or
You know.
Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah, or Thoracle, yeah. But we don't have enough mana for that.
That's
but
fair. That's fair.
Maybe. Then you use your floating mana to play your Mana Vault, and then you just pass the turn.
Yep.
So you go to your turn, you can either cast Main Phase Naws, which this deck is not that good at casting, actually.
Yes.
So you might not
Yeah,
do
you,
it. If,
you
you
definitely
can't see
wait
it
for
on your
instant
screen.
nods. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can't see it on your screen, but it's 2.14 is the average CMC, so it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
You want to see, like,
One.
a lot lower numbers.
Yeah, I think like
Oh, actually, the average CMC is not 2.14. I'm sorry, that's the average lands. One sec. Oh, you guys probably don't like
Oh,
this
okay.
looks.
That's fine.
It's 1.32 with lands and 1.9 without lands, so pretty rough.
oh, okay.
Um,
I mean, 1.3 is definitely could be a lot worse.
yeah, sorry, I have to adjust this. This was such a bad idea.
Okay, we can cut from that point.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
So yeah, you could do that. You could also just get a wheel.
That's
And you'll
super
have-
fair. This
you'll have
hand's
2 mana
such
left
gas.
over.
I don't want to like throw this away with a wheel though. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, you can also just, like, Tainted Pact for mana acceleration. What you can do is turn 1 Demonic Tutor for a wheel, turn 2 Tainted Pact for like a mana crypt. Get the
Interesting.
mana crypt, cast the wheel. You know,
Huh. Okay.
so this hand has a lot of play with it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
like 2 tutors in it. There's a Draenith Magistrate if that's like, I need you to play Draenith Magistrate on turn 2.
Yeah,
you can,
yeah.
but please don't. Actually, it'd be pretty hard because you actually can't tutor for a plateau with the Wooded Foothills. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think this is sick. You keep this.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
All right, fresh 7.
Okay, so we have 4 lands, Furious Guardianship,
stinky.
Necro, Yawgmoth's. This is a late game hand that you do not want to see early.
Yeah, so you have 3 3-drops and 4 lands. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, out of here. Get it out.
This is also not keepable, but it's more
Okay,
interesting.
so we have 1 land, LED, Silence, Counterspells, Tithe, Pyroclasm, Rift. I
so-
don't think you can keep this. I don't
Oh,
think there's a
absolutely
world
not.
where you keep this at all.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
All right, we're down to
you
6.
you can play a turn 1 Timna and discard your hand.
Yay!
All right. All right, so this hand is an Underground River, an Ocean Thief, a Windfall, an Alms Collector, a Stuffwood Coliseum, a Necropotence, and a Mystical Tutor.
I definitely think you bottom the collector, right? That's my...
Yeah, for sure. So this hand does interesting things. You can actually turn one Mystical Tutor for Dark Ritual, then Dark Ritual and Necropotence.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you probably win.
Yeah, Necro's real good.
You also have Thief Windfall, so you can just kind of like play the turn 2 Necropotence, and then just kind of like play like a slightly interactive game, leave up your Stuffwood Coliseum, play some grindy stuff, and then over the course of a few turns just play your Notion Thief, then play your Windfall.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It seems good.
Yeah, yeah. It's just definitely like a solid 6, so.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Let's just do a couple more.
Yeah.
This seems really good. So
wait. I've lost you again.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're coming back.
Just one sec. It doesn't seem like I'm coming back on my screen. It's not even like pretending that I'm actually sending out to you. So.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm currently running my video editor, running OBS, and uploading a video to YouTube.
Yeah, you're fine, man. I get it.
All right, so this is.
I love this hand.
One sec. Actually, can we just pause for a second so it's easier for me to cut this? All right, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I really like this hand. So it's 3 lands: Ponder, Smothering Tithe, Mana Vault, and Counterspell. So I call this one the Shaper Savant special because that man is obsessed with Smothering Tithe. So any chance you have to like get that card out real early, you're probably in a pretty decent position.
This is how he wins games.
Yeah.
It's like playing turn 2 Tithe.
The amount of times I've been like turn 1, turn 2 Tithe, and then we're all like, okay, waiting for it, and then wheel with backup, and it's like, he got us again.
Yeah. Anytime I see a Tithe and a Mana Crypt in my medium green deck, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we got there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a powerful.
You really don't want to
card.
play Smothering Tithe after like turn 2 because it's just so like 4 mana. But early, it feels great.
It does. It does very much so.
All right.
Nice.
So we're keeping this one?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next one.
Lost you again. There you are. Okay.
Let's just one sec. I'll start us off. All right. So this is our last hand. We have a Tundra, a Talisman of Dominance, a Bloodstained Mire, a Demonic Tutor, a Dark Ritual, a Winds of Change, and a Rhystic Study. So what do you think of this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. So going land that can tap for black. So playing the Bloodstained Mire, probably grabbing like an Underground Sea. I really like going turn 1 Dark Writ into the Talisman into D-Tutor. Maybe grabbing like a Narset. I'm not sure if you can do you can't do turn 2 Narset Wheel, which is unfortunate unless you get like another piece of free mana. But being able to play a turn 2 Narset or turn 2 Rhystic Study is still pretty good.
You can go turn 2 Winds Narset if you draw a land.
Not turn 2, no. Because turn 2 you're only playing your second land. So you have 3 mana.
Oh, you're right.
So you can play the turn 2 Rhystic Study, which is still really, really good, and then have the Narset later for the Narset Winds of Change.
I probably wouldn't get a Narset in that case. I'd probably get like a wheel.
Interesting.
Or just get a proper wheel. Or maybe even like a Smothering Tithe.
That's fair. This other time's fine. Especially with Rhystic Study out. I mean, having that out, that combo is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Maybe,
or you could also get, like, protection to make sure that Rhystic Study does resolve.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You know what? If we draw a land off the top, there's also the possibility we go turn 1 Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor, Talisman, get Necropotence.
Yeah.
If we draw one of our black sources.
That's totally fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
there's a lot of play to this hand, so that you can
sure.
You can.
I mean, I think you'll probably they've probably noticed that with every hand we've had. It's like, oh wow, there's a lot of decision points here, which is like obviously difficult for us, and it's probably difficult for you if you're just picking up this deck.
Right.
Hopefully, we're just talking through some things, and Shaper will leave a comment on the video about how wrong we are.
But
So
you can see
I'm
also
just
like
waiting for
yeah,
it.
the not only the fact that these hands have been extremely explosive, but they've been extremely explosive and extremely flexible, which is like
Hmm.
something you really aim for in a competitive EDH deck, right? Which is why Opus Thief has found so much success as it is, right? So this deck just it has play on play on play, but it's also really tough to pilot because of that too. So, this is just like a fraction of a lesson on it.
For sure. All right, so that was the end of our Opus Thief discussion and mulligans. We actually had to have a shorter episode this week since we're about to record an episode with a very important guest, and I want to make sure we had time to give that our full attention.
Yeah.
You'll be hearing about that probably soon.
Yeah, definitely. This is really exciting. We're gonna be going through Greedy Creeps, and as you've seen, we've been using decks we have a lot of experience piloting. I've definitely played Opus Thief in my time, and obviously knowing Shaper helps because we had a conversation about how to best break down hands in this deck, but we sort of have the intention going forward of tackling a lot more of the meta decks and decks that are in the format, and hopefully we can get some special guests on and stuff like that. So Greedy Keep's gonna keep getting better and better. So keep
For sure.
tuned.
And one thing to note about Greedy Keeps is that the goal of this is to educate and also like learn something ourselves.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see us do decks that we're comfortable with because that's easiest for us. But as we run out of easy content, we're going to have to start doing things we're less comfortable with.
Definitely.
And we hope you guys are supportive of that, and also a little understanding when we give less valuable opinions.
When we haven't had like 50 to 60 games on a deck, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Although I'm sure you and I have both played against Opus Thief enough to be like,
Oh, totally.
it seems like they cast Winds of Change on turn one. That might be good.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. All right, I'm not trying to call you out. But, all right, so just one second. I'm actually probably going to cut the end of that out, so just give me a second. All right, so that's the end of the episode. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Greedy Keeps. It's a pretty important episode, I'd say. This is one of the most popular and fun decks in the format to play. It's definitely a deck we suggest people play. It came up on the cEDH Facebook the other day, like, should I play Blue Farm or should I play Opus Thief? And my answer was just kind of like, are you playing for fun or are you trying to win? I think Opus Thief's like, hot take, I think Opus Thief's a little bit worse off right now. But I think Opus Thief's like way more fun. And so if you're just playing in your local games with your friends, I totally suggest Opus Thief like every time. If you're playing online and trying to like grind out wins, I might suggest Blue Farm.
Yeah.
All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and make sure you check out our YouTube channel. We have a community section now where you can like comment and like posts and see them. So check that out. We also have a TCG Player affiliate link. So please check that out. We'll be leaving it in the description. When you buy things on there, they give us money. So if you're already buying things on TCG Player and you don't have another content creator you're already supporting using their affiliate link, we'd really appreciate it if you used our affiliate link.
Very much so.
It'll be in the description.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, everyone.
all right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.